Hello, and welcome to the Perry Connection. I'm your host, Jessie Barth. And in the studio, we have two guests that are representing the Boy Scouts of America.
Thank you.
And they are Joe LaGeorgia, who is a senior in high school at Perry.
That's right.
Perry Central High School. And your troop leader, and that would be Peter Leblond. Is that the correct title, Peter?
Actually, no, I'm a troop advisor.
Troop advisor.
Right. I was a troop leader,
Okay.
and then I progressed on, and I'm more of a council and troop advisor.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
My official title is Assistant District Commissioner. Okay.
That sounds very official.
But that's just all. Yep. I may make comment that Joe is an Eagle Scout, of which we're all very, very proud.
Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you.
And I would like to say, too, that one of the reasons why I especially wanted you on the show is that you have been a cameraman here at Letchworth Cable Access for 4 years.
That's right, since my freshman year.
And I know you walk your talk. I don't think you've ever missed in the 4 years that I've done a show here with you. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your service, and thank you for being a scout.
You're welcome.
Now, how did you get involved in scouting, Joe?
Well, it started a long time ago, back when I was actually 5 years old. I was sitting with my parents at the kitchen table one day, and they asked me if I wanted to join Cub Scouting. And I was 5 years old at the time, and I had no idea what Cub Scouting was. But for some reason, it just clicked that this was something that I actually really wanted to be a part of. So I joined up with the Cub Scouting, attended a few meetings, and then I went to day camp for the first time, which was at the Cub Scout camp, Camp Sam Wood, over in Pike, New York.
I was just there recently,
Isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful.
It's a very lovely camp.
Yeah.
Had my first year there, summertime day camp, where I did archery and sports and that sort of thing, and I fell in love, and I've been in ever since. Now I'm 17 years old and an Eagle Scout.
Okay, so we've got a lot of time to cover there. So when did you start camping then? When did you first go to the first camp? Like, can you go as young as when you're 5 and 6?
Oh yeah, we can do overnight camping.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But at that age, it's usually with the parent.
Usually with a parent.
Oh yeah, they don't leave you unattended.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's good to talk about the role of parents involved, especially in Cub Scouting.
Very much so.
Can you talk about that, Pete, a little bit?
Yes. A parent or parents are very important in terms of guiding a young person and helping them, and it becomes a wonderful working relationship between the youth and the adults. And we do have adults that run the packs and run the little individual units, and they do a wonderful job in teaching and training these young boys in different skills. They make all sorts of neat projects, and it's a lot of fun for them. We have a little racing car that they make.
Oh,
and
Pinewood Derby?
Pinewood Derby, yes.
I remember that well.
Oh yeah, that was one of the staples of my childhood.
How many Pinewood Derbies did you participate in?
From when I was a Tiger to when I was a Weeblos too, so five Pinewood Derbies.
5, okay.
4 years of which I won trophies.
You did? Oh, okay. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's funny how it continues. My grandson in California just joined the Cub Scouts.
Oh, how nice.
And I just got a picture that he was just elevated, or what's the word? When you're raised up.
He advanced
in
Right.
rank, thank you, to Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be right?
That is correct.
Okay.
right.
Yeah, and he loves folding the flag, and his parents are involved, very proudly so. So, now what about your parents? Was your dad involved more? Your mom?
Definitely my dad was greatly involved. He was our Cub Scout leader until I became a Boy Scout.
Okay.
And then he was our Boy Scout leader, and now he's a Scoutmaster.
Oh, good.
So
So big shout out to Mr. LaGeorgia.
That's right. He's been involved since the beginning, and also shout out goes to my mom too, because my mom was the one who, even when I was having a tough time, maybe I didn't feel like doing something, my mom was like, "Oh, you gotta do this. It's your responsibility." And I said, "You're right."
Yeah. Yeah, the parents are usually right about
Yeah.
those things.
A little push once in a while from the mom or dad, it makes a big difference.
But what a difference. I mean, look at your sash there. How many badges do you have?
33.
33. And what was the span that it took to to gather those, or to
From-
earn them, I should say?
From when I was a scout, starting up here, which is the first rank in the Boy Scouting, it's just scout, to when I am now an Eagle Scout, way down here.
Okay.
Because in order to earn certain badges, in order to earn a certain rank, you have to earn certain badges.
I see. So what was the first badge?
My very first badge was fishing. For my first ever overnight summer camp,
Okay.
Camp Gordon.
Okay. Now, are all these camps around here, or have you traveled?
All these camps are around here, yes.
Okay.
But we have also traveled. We have traveled anywhere from Pennsylvania to all around upstate New York and into the Finger Lakes. And we encourage the boys to go to different camps because it gives them an opportunity to see the different areas and learn different things from the camps.
Oh, sure.
So it becomes a real learning process, and it's a lot of fun for the boys.
Well, and it's a great summer activity too.
Yeah, it's
You
just
know,
fun
in
to
the
get
summer.
out in nature and explore and, get some sunshine and fresh air.
Did you ever camp in really terrible weather? Do you have some stories about that?
Recently, back in February, we went to Cayuga Lake, where it was 40 below zero for the entire weekend.
Oh, you're kidding.
With the wind chill, it was 40 below zero.
Did you have a good time?
I did. I love
That says
winter
it all.
camping. Winter camping makes you appreciate it because, summertime camping is fun too. You can go, when you go out and you do the activities. But winter camping, is harsh. It's cold, but you feel accomplished.
Yes, you do. So, did you have a specific objective that you were trying to achieve?
Don't freeze.
Don't freeze. Were you working on any badges, or was it just really just
This was just a recreation.
a
thing.
recreation?
When it's 40 below zero, there's really not much you can do except just try
Stay
to have a
warm.
good time and stay warm.
Yeah.
With those temperatures, the boys are not forced to stay outdoors.
Right.
They usually have lean-tos or shelters. But some of the boys do camp out in the weather in the extreme cold.
Oh, you did.
But there's always adult supervision,
Right.
and they are not just left out there to be on their own. They're made sure that they're
Yeah.
taken care of.
Yeah. One of the things that I love about scouting is just the camaraderie, and the getting together of the different ages of the adults and the kids, and you go from a young scout. So at age 9, is that when you become a scout?
Age 11.
11. Okay, 11 to
18.
You have until 18 to get your Eagle.
Right.
Okay. So that's essentially through high school.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that's just a wonderful way to really bond with people and to have the characteristics of the scouts, the scout law, the 12 we talked about, which I'm going to ask you to name, Joe, to see those, how they're lived out through
One of the important things in Boy Scouting is there is a link that is developed between the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts. And there is a certain position made in the Boy Scouts where the young boys are taught or trained to work with the adult leaders in the Cub packs. And it's quite an honor to get this. And Joe, you have the sash on you. Okay, and that represents what position?
Den Chief.
Den Chief.
Oh, Den Chief.
Yes,
Okay.
and that allows a young man to work with the den leaders and helping bring a little camaraderie and helping the young boys. And it also builds a relationship between the young boys and the older boys.
Yes.
And that's really very important.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe, what have you learned about respect in scouting?
What I've learned about respect is that when it comes to being in an organization where you're with these people and you're basically brothers.
Mm-hmm.
The Boy Scouting is a big organization of brothers because we're all just a family. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to respect, it's about acknowledging other people's potential and acknowledging other people's achievements, which is why
Yeah. Well, and with that, that's how you maintain harmony in a group.
That's
So
right.
you don't have conflicts
Right.
because everybody respects
And they
the
all
young,
work
the
together.
older. They work together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me what the Boy Scout law is?
Boy Scout law. It is what we said, the 12 characteristics, which are trustworthy, loyal,
Wait, slow down. These are very important.
trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Good. So those 12 characteristics, how do you live? How do you teach them? How do you live them?
It's not something that necessarily is taught to them. It's something that there's a little explanation for each one of these, and it kind of gives a little definition of what does it mean to be loyal? What does it mean to be obedient? What does it mean to be cheerful, thrifty? Which, of course, not all the boys are as thrifty as they
Thrifty's
should
not
be.
so much fun.
No, but it is one of the things that they're taught, and it becomes a real challenge for them to say, okay, do I live by the oath and motto every day? Am I doing a good deed? And
Oh,
and
that's right. That's right. Do a good deed
Deed,
daily. Is
yes.
that
Do a good turn daily.
a good turn daily? Okay. Do you really live by that?
Every day we do.
Good for you.
I think every
Boy, if
scout
everyone
does.
had that.
Whether you open a door, you help somebody, whether it's an older person, a young person, doesn't matter. You have to have that in your heart to do that every day.
Yeah. Now, switching the subject just a little bit, Pete, tell me about your background. How did you come into scouting? Were you as a kid? Were you in scouting?
I was when I was real young. I was a Cub Scout, and then my parents we moved away, and then I didn't get involved really till my son got involved here in Cub Scouting. One of my sons, my youngest one, and he went through Cub Scouting and Boy Scouting, and I'm very proud to say he's an Eagle.
An Eagle Scout.
Yes, Ryan has been a very wonderful young man, and I'm very proud of him. Not that I'm not proud of my other two sons. I'm very proud of all my sons.
I'm sure.
But it's been a lot of fun working with Ryan, going right through the ranks and being there with him, and I've enjoyed that.
Yeah. Yes, and if I may say personally that in my family we have 2 Eagle Scouts. So that sounds like you're an Eagle Scout, you have an Eagle Scout, we have 2 in our family. How rare is it to be an Eagle Scout?
One in every 10,000, one in every 1,000, pardon me, Boy Scouts will achieve their Eagle Award.
1 in 1,000.
That's right.
That's quite amazing.
So if your 2 sons are Eagles, that's 2 out of 20,000 scouts.
2,000, yeah.
2,000 Scouts.
Yep.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Yeah. No.
But still, it just
Still,
goes.
you line up 2,000 guys.
And that goes to show how many boys, how hard it is. And it gives a lot of credit to those boys that have earned it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just not something to fluff by. And it is really a very high honor and a high achievement for someone to reach that rank. And we're very, very proud of all the boys, but especially the boys that have worked hard and diligent to make it to that point.
Yeah.
Which I might add, it's really important to have parent involvement. Mm-hmm. It becomes not necessarily a crutch, but something to help push along and to be there with them. Sure. And whether it's both or one, it doesn't matter, but it does help the boy become an Eagle, and it usually helps a young boy through scouting.
Right. Joe, what did you do for your Eagle project? And can you talk about that? What was the process?
Well, my Eagle project was I did some reparations at the Prospect Hill Cemetery in Perry Center.
Okay.
What happened was that I was in need of an Eagle project, and our troop was approached by a gentleman by the name of Mr. Wayne Sage, mm-hmm. and he said that he is basically the committee chairman of the cemetery board, and I believe that's the correct name.
Yep.
And he approached us and he said that his cemetery, Prospect Hill on Perry Center, was in some dire need of good repairs. And I said, well, I'm in need of an Eagle project. I'd be happy to do it. What do you need me to do? He said, well, Some tree branches have been overgrowing the headstones, so those can be cleared away. Some headstones can be repaired too, not necessarily repaired, just lifted back up because some of them have fallen over time. And the gravel driveway was in need of a redo. And I said I'd be happy to do it. And he said that he would provide me with any tools that I needed. And he also provided me with the gravel stone for laying down the driveway. So it was funny when we arrived there that day. We didn't have any, because originally you pull up and then you turn left to go into the driveway. It was blocked by a huge pile of gravel. So we had to drive around it and park on the grass in order to get into the cemetery.
Yeah. Now, did you have those skills? Did you know how to fix the driveway, or did you have to learn? Did you help him with this, Pete?
Yes, but pretty much what happens is once a young person works or figures out the project that they're going to do, it's then approved by council so that everyone is on a level playing field. One boy isn't doing a 500-hour project and another boy doing a 2-hour project.
Okay.
So council does review it, and the parameters are set ahead, and he does make a scope of work ahead of time, and he has an idea of, okay, I have this much work to be done, and then he takes a look, and it is his project, not the adults. They run the project, and it's their responsibility to assign the work duties and to make sure that the job gets done, to keep track of the tools, materials, the amount of time, and to make sure that the project is done from A to Z and complete and signed off.
Okay. That's quite a responsibility.
Yes.
So how long did it take you to do this?
The project itself ultimately took me about a month's worth of preparation, but the project itself was done within 3 days.
Okay, good. Now, did you do it all yourself, or did you have other people helping you then?
No, actually, that's one of the big things about the Eagle Project was that you needed to involve your troop, and you also needed to direct the members of the troop as to what jobs they need to be doing.
Oh, good. So you become the project manager.
Exactly.
Yeah, what good experience. Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely a good learning experience.
And this happened, and this all ended up very well. So Mr. Sage was happy, you were happy.
Oh yes, Mr. Sage.
The council was
very pleased.
happy.
Mm-hmm.
What happens when it doesn't work out? When the project, have you had a scout whose project
Yes, we have.
failed?
Yes, we have.
Okay, what did you do with that?
Sometimes what happens is a scout will wait too long. And if you're about to turn 18 and you've got a project, and if it's a weather-related project, it can absolutely get wiped out. And that has happened. And there aren't any extensions. The rules are the rules, and that's the way it is. So if you're going to make your project, it's got to be complete 100% before your 18th year birthday. And if it isn't, I'm sorry, but you are not going to earn your Eagle because those are the rules.
Right.
And we treat every boy the same.
The rules are the rules.
Yes, that is correct.
So that's the case then.
They were not able to get their Eagle.
You didn't get your Eagle.
It was those things happen. Not very often. Usually when a boy makes his application, he has already got a good idea about the scope and about the time, and very, very infrequently does it come down to the last 2 days.
Okay.
It can happen, but if it does, and if you're weather dependent, you could be in trouble, and this did happen.
And what a learning experience.
Yes, it is.
For the future.
Yep, and it's unfortunate, but those things do happen.
Yeah.
Most of the time it doesn't. Most of the time it's a great experience, and it's usually a lot of fun. Not only the boys that are running the project direct the other boys, but they also direct the leaders. They tell the adults, I need this branch cut, I need this moved, and the adults, we work right with them, but he is a leader.
Yeah. And one thing that is so wonderful then is that you have your Eagle ceremony. Yep. So can you tell about that? And do you have some pictures of that
I've not actually had my Eagle ceremony yet.
Oh, okay, you haven't.
I had my Eagle board, which confirmed that I had indeed earned my Eagle award.
Okay. Yes, and you have your tie?
My neckerchief.
Neckerchief, okay.
And my fancy neckerchief slide, which has the eagle on it and everything.
Okay, good. So what does the ceremony entail, though?
The ceremony is basically you invite all the people who have helped you over your scouting career. This can be, your friends and your family, and just anyone who helped you. Like, for example, I'll be inviting the Perry Center Fire Department to mine because they played a big part in funding a lot of what we did.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, right. And
that's great to know. I
will be presented with my patch, and my parents will be presented with honorary eagle pins too, because they're the parents of the eagle. And the eagle can say a few words if he wants, although usually we're quite humble people.
Well, what words would you say?
I just say thank you so much to everyone who has helped me over the last gee, what is it, 12 years now of being in Scouts. It's been a long journey, and I couldn't have done it without them.
Yeah, well, we all grow upon the shoulders of those that come before us.
Absolutely.
And so are you going to become a Scout leader? Is that in your future?
Yes, it is.
Good. Will you, what are your plans now upon graduating?
After I graduate from high school, I'm going to go to 2-year college, GCC, to study criminal justice.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, congratulations, Joe.
Thank you.
This is a really big deal.
It was a lot of hard work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but it teaches you, that hard work and determination gets you the best things in life. And it also teaches you a self-journey on, how to earn it yourself, not to just sit around and to wait for the award, for the trophy, for the miracle to just fall down from the heavens and rain on your lap.
Yeah.
What's really important is in scouting, these are the merit badges that they learn, and these are skills, life skills, and they're very important. I mean, they learn camping, they learn how to cook, they learn life saving, they learn water safety. There's so many.
I see a fireman's hat there. What's that?
Fire safety.
Fire safety. Can you just go through and tell me, Pete? Thank you for bringing this up. Just what are some of the other badges you've got there?
A couple of examples this is camping, which teaches you the basics of campsite and campsite safety, how to pitch a tent, how to leave no trace. That's an important thing. Leave the campsite looking better when you leave than the way you found it, picking up trash. Fingerprinting, which goes along with the whole criminal justice thing, so I think that's kind of cool. It's one of my favorites, actually. Cooking, especially outdoor cooking with the all favorite what are they called? Cast iron stoves, and cooking over a fire. Down here, shotgun, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, you choose.
Okay.
Also teaches you gun safety, some very basic and important rules about, how to safely handle a firearm. And those are just a few of the many.
Right, and I see the church there. Now, it seems to me that the churches have always been an integral part of scouting.
Very much.
Can you talk about that, Pete?
We do encourage the boys and, of course, the parents to be involved with church and organizations. And I think it also, a lot of the boys, whether they work being an altar boy or whether they're just involved with the ministers or offering assistance. And we do an awful lot of Eagle projects for churches. We've done several here in Perry for the churches. And it's a fun, it's again a very rewarding feeling, and it's just a good atmosphere for all the boys to enjoy.
I remember the first Thanksgiving I was here in Perry when I moved here in 2005. My first community event was the Thanksgiving service. I was so impressed because they had, first of all, the whole community turned out. It was at the Catholic Church. And but the scouts were there, and just really helped. I think you have that drive every year where the food drive?
That is correct.
Yeah.
For the food pantry.
For the food pantry, yeah. And just to see all the scouts involved. Now, do you ever do anything with Girl Scouts? Is that ever
Not
you don't ever
no.
get together?
Girl Scouts is a separate organization.
Separate
from us.
organization.
Yeah, they do their own things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, I wondered too, in talking to my son about scouting, he just said, Mom, it was hard in seventh and eighth grade, because he said, I was so proud of it, and then all of a sudden it wasn't necessarily cool. But he said now, as he's in his early 30s, that his friends say to him that used to tease him, wow, I wish I had been involved in scouting. And so what advice do both of you have for people who might be watching who are going through that sort of junior high phase of trying to just do what everybody else is doing?
I'll let you go.
Okay.
I
what
think
would
it's
you say?
important to just say, push it off. You just set yourself up and say, I'm my own individual, and I'm not going to let them influence me, and I'm going to go the path I want to go. And I think a lot of young people today, if they really did that, I think they'd become much stronger. But to be like everybody else is not necessarily always the coolest thing to be. And I have to tell you that there's nothing more rewarding than seeing some of these young boys going through scouting, and what they do and how they work together and how they perform different functions to help and be of service to the community is wonderful. Whether it's a matter of putting flags down before Memorial Day in all the cemeteries, whether it's a matter of collecting food for the food pantry, and all the other little service projects they do, a lot of people don't even know about it. It's just very, very, very rewarding to them.
Well, thank you. Thank you on behalf of the community, to both of you, and to the scouting program in general for serving our community.
All we could
It's
say is
important work.
we'd like to encourage more young people, more young boys, and to get involved. And of course, it's starting with Cub Scouts and working up into Boy Scouts, but it's a very rewarding program, and I think it's a fun program, and it's something that they will have for the rest of their lives, learning life skills.
Joe, what advice would you give as someone who's just been through the whole process, watching?
I will be graduating next week. As of today, I'll be graduating next week. 17 years old. I've been through high school, and the advice that I give is to not be weighed down by peer pressure. What everybody else is doing is not necessarily, like what Mr. Leblond was saying, it's not necessarily the best thing. It's not necessarily the right thing. But because Boy Scouting is a level above what other people may see in just daily life, because there are some things that you just don't get indoctrined with when you're hanging out with your friends, doing whatever you do.
Yeah.
Teaching you respect and teaching you loyalty, and teaching you how to be clean, and just
Can you just say that we're gonna? I can't believe it, but it's just about time to end. So I agree with what you're saying, and I would just say to anyone who's watching, let's get more kids involved in scouting. I was a Girl Scout through my senior year, and I earned the highest degree, which is the curved bar back then, and at that time, I'm not quite sure what it is, but we love scouting, and so and if a person is watching who doesn't even have a child but would just like to get involved in scouting, is that possible too?
Absolutely, we would very much welcome that.
Good. Okay. Great. Okay, so to wrap up, can you just please again say slowly the Boy Scout law?
All right. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Thank you, Joe LaGeorgia, and best wishes to you and your life as you move on to GCC and then also to a career in scouting.
Yep, I look forward to
as
it.
a scout leader, and to you, Peter Leblond.
Thank you. And thank you for us having the opportunity to talk a little bit. We've enjoyed it.
Good. Well, thank you both, and thank you for joining us. And we'll see you soon, and we will be doing a show with the Girl Scouts of Perry. So thank you, and thank you.